Okay, so we'll continue with this particular question, number 63. So it says there are 3 points. So it says there are 3 points P, Q, R on a straight line such that PQ is to R, QR is 3:5. So he's saying if N is the number of possible ways of PQ is to PR, then what is N equal to? So basically what he says is there is a straight line and there are 3 points P, Q, R. Let's say P is here, Q is here and R is here. So he's saying PQ is to QR is 3:5. I mean the length of PQ and the length of QR are in the ratio of 3 times and 5 times. But again he's saying if N is number of possible values of PQ is to QR. That means if you carefully observe, he's not telling PQR's relative position. PQR can be at any possible difference. He's not giving a particular position of PQR. That is why the question arises number of possible values of PQR. Had he already given that Q comes after P and R comes after Q on the line, then PQR's position is fixed. Then we also know the length of PQ is 3x and QR is 5x. So then there will be only one possible way. But since he has not mentioned what relative position of PQR, there can be multiple possible ways. So here we have to find out what are the different combinations of PQR on the straight line and then find possible values of PQs to PR. Okay, so let's do that. Let's say, so first combination possible is the obvious one, that is P is here, then Q is here and R is here. Okay, the second possible combination is P is here, R is here and Q is here. Okay, now simultaneously we'll also write the values. So he's saying PQ is to QR is 3:5. So let's assume PQ as 3x, then QR will be 5x. Now here he says this in the second case, let's say PQ is 3x and QR is 5x. But if you carefully observe, this is not possible because this is bigger than this. So you can cancel off this case. Okay. So you go for the next case where your Q is here, your P is here and your R is here. So here if you see PQ is 3x and QR is 5x, then your PR becomes 2x. Yeah, because length of entire thing RQ is 5x. So relatively PR becomes 5. So this is possible because RQ is of bigger length than PQ. So this is a possibility. So we can consider this possibility and this possibility. If you go for the fourth one, Q is here, R is here and P is here. Then you know that QR is 5x. Yeah, and PQ, this entire thing is 3x, which again is a non-possibility because the length is smaller. Okay. Now we'll go for the other possible cases. Now the fifth possibility is R is here, P is here and Q is here and PQ is 3x and RQ is 5x. So RP will be 2x. It's also a possibility. Then you have sixth case which says R is here, Q is here and P is here. Now QR is 5x and PQ is 3x. So here it's also possible, but if you can see, these are repetitive cases. This is equal to the first case that we have done, and this is also case we have seen. So so these are the possible cases, and if you see the first case and the third case, they are similar to fifth and sixth cases. So they are basically repetition. So if you find out for these, so by looking at it, out of 6 possibilities, you might get 4 possibilities, but there are actually only 2 possibilities because those 4 are again repetitive of one another. So in this case, if you see, the value of PQ is to PR will be PQ is 3x is to PR here would be 2x. So this is 3:2. In this case, PQ is to PR would be 3x is to PR is the entire thing. So it becomes 8x. So this is 3:8. And if you carefully calculate for the first case and the third case also, you will get the same values 3:2 and 3:8 because they are similar cases. That means the total possible values are 2. One is 3:2 and one is 3:8. So the answer will be 2. Okay. So basically here whenever he says number of possible values, you have to understand that there are multiple possible combinations of this particular ratio. Hence the question. That is why you need to find out what are the different possible cases and be careful that is there any repetition or not. As we have seen in the 6 cases, 4 are satisfying, but those 4 again are repetitive. So you have to find out what are repetitive, remove them and only find the unique ratios. Okay.
Examination hall, it seems some difficult, sir, because the question says if n is the possible number of possible values, I thought n is some values between the whole number 0 to 9.
Exactly.
That means the answer is not in the list also.
Understood. So what you're basically saying is when they say if n is the possible, so when you say when n is the possible value and you're saying this is the ratio, maybe you're correlating this n with this ratio. So here is where you have to read the question properly. If you read properly what he's saying, if n is number of possible values of PQ is to PR. So basically this is nothing but a ratio. You can also write this as PQ by PR. This is just a convenient form of representation. So what is he saying? This fraction will have multiple. So this is basically you can assume to be some value of x, some variable as x. So basically saying there are multiple values of x. There are n number of possible ways of writing x. Okay, so in the answer if you have seen, we can write x as 3/2 or x as 3/8. It's the same thing. Ratio and fraction are the same thing, just a representation. So what is asking, how many possible values can x take? That is 2. So, again, this is a good point that you have asked. When you read the question, there will be confusion because some mathematical jargon you might not understand. But if you actually read carefully, read the exact meaning. If n is the number of possible values, this is one thing. So n is number of possible values of this ratio. Okay, so I would suggest that read the question properly because even if you see the options, it is giving some number to you. But here is asking ratio. That means this and this can't be the same thing. So there you have to be a little careful while reading question. Okay, so this says on a chessboard, in how many different ways can 6 consecutive squares be chosen on diagonals along a straight path? So again, the question has a lot of things in it. Though it seems simple, it is a little difficult. Now, before starting, he said on a chessboard. So let's first draw a chessboard. That's the first basic thing you can do. So everyone knows that chess is an 8x8 square. There will be 64 squares, 8 like this and 8 like this. So 8 rows. Now we'll draw 8 columns. Okay. So we have an 8x8 square, and we also know that alternate squares are white and black. So let's assume this to be black. So you just color them for your convenience. Okay, so these are the black squares, let's assume. Now, once we have the board in front of us, let's go forward. What is he saying? In how many different ways can 6 consecutive squares? What is consecutive squares is which are side by side. So, if you want 6 consecutive squares in this row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are continuously arranged squares. That is what he means by 6 consecutive squares. So, in the question, there are multiple terms. So, we have to understand the meaning of each term. As then we will be able to solve the question. He's saying 6 consecutive squares. So, now we know what are 6 consecutive squares which should be continuously arranged. Then he's saying be chosen on the diagonals. Okay. So, what is a diagonal of a square? Yeah, that one. So, this is the diagonal of the square. Again, this is another diagonal of the square. So, if you see any quadrilateral will have 2 diagonals. This is one diagonal, this is one diagonal. Basically, diagonal is the one which joins the corners of the quadrilateral. So, these are the 2 diagonals along a straight path. So, we have seen that diagonals are straight. So, let's say this is the diagonal. So, this is a straight line. Basically, now what he's asking is how many different ways can 6 consecutive squares be chosen on the diagonals. So, we know that this is the diagonal and on this diagonal you have to choose 6 consecutive squares. Basically, that is the question. Okay. So, this is the diagonal of the chessboard, one diagonal, let's say. On this, how many ways can you choose 6 consecutive squares? So, if you go by example, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, this is one diagonal, one set of squares. Get this? This is one set of squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which are 6 consecutive squares on the diagonal line. So, this is what he means by the question. But he is saying how many different ways, means as we have seen in the previous question, whenever he asks how many different ways, means there are multiple ways of choosing such a set. So, this is one set. Now, we will go again. Now, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But if you start from 2, square 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you have another set here. Yeah, this is a different set from this. This is 1 to 6, this is 2 to 7. That is a different set. Now, if you go again, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, this is another set. Okay. So, on one diagonal, you can find 3 different sets of consecutive squares. You can start from here also, from backwards also, but you will find again it is repetitive, because if you start from here, again you will have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, but this is already counted. So, you have to again, as we've seen in the previous case, you should not double count anything, be careful of the repetition. Here, these 3 are different, but if you start from back, it will be a repetition. So, better only go from one way. You got 3 squares here. Similarly, you will have 3 squares on this diagonal also. We have seen there are 2 diagonals in a quadrilateral. This is the other one. So, you will have one set like this. Yeah. Then you will have a second set like this. And you will have a third set like this. So, basically here you have 3 and here you have 3. So, total will be how many? 6. Okay. Simple. Just understand the question. Just see what does he mean. Basically, divide the question into different terms. Understand the meaning of each term. Then apply that knowledge on the board. So, whenever he says chessboard, draw the chessboard. It is very easy. Everyone knows how a chessboard looks. Just draw it and understand what he means by this. Okay.
With along your straight path,
Huh.
you have to consider all the possible combinations, right?
Sorry, did not get your doubt. All combination means?
Doesn't mean the diagrams.
Hmm.
If they ask
Yes. True. So, when let's say he removes this term, and he says how many different ways can 6 consecutive be chosen along a straight path. That means how many straight paths are there? Every row is one straight path. Every column is one straight path. Then every diagonal will be one straight path. So, you will and again be careful, not only diagonal, the lines parallel to diagonal will also be a straight path. Means even this will be a straight path for you. And this will also be a straight path for you. So, you basically your diagram will look something like this. So, you have to, all these columns you have to see, all these rows you have to see, and along the diagonal also, whatever are parallel to diagonal also become your straight lines, because this is a straight line. Similarly, on the other side, so this is one diagonal means like this. These lines parallel to these diagonals. So, it will be very complicated, and he too knows that this is complicated. That is why he has specifically given only the diagonals. And you see the options also, 4, 6, 8, 12, the number is very less. So always remember in CSAT, if the number is very big, like it is like in hundreds, in 200s or in 500s, most probably this is one of the cases where you will answer will be in that. If you ask something like this, the answer will be in that range. So what I have seen is generally he will not ask too big a numbers also. Something which you can actually basically do with first principles. As I said, now you don't need any mathematics here, right? It's only understanding the question and calculating 1, 2, 3, 4, which is a very basic thing. You have no formula for this. You have a formula for this, but you don't need a formula in this case because the questions they are asking are very basic. Had this been somewhat 500, which is not manually possible to calculate in the exam, that means then you will require a formula. And then he would have asked something of this sort, which is again somewhat, let's say, a JEE kind of a question. In IIT questions they might ask. But in CSAT, they will ask you a basic concept only. So, and also if you see the options are countable, so you can understand that this is somewhat very basic thing. But as you said, if the question does not say diagonals, then this has to be the answer. Okay, so this is again a very repetitive model in CSAT. They'll give you one series and some blanks in it, and they say using one of the following given 4 choices such that the series follows a specific order. What does it mean is, if you plug in these in the given series, you will find a pattern within the series, a uniform or a continuous pattern in the series. That is what this question means. And every time such question is asked in CSAT. So be careful on this question, and how we'll solve it is by applying the options. Okay, because we can't find out we can't put some random numbers and see some random pattern and try to from here to here we can't go, but from here to here we can easily go, and it will save our time also. So simple thing is, let's substitute the options in this. So how do you substitute this? Each letter, let's say here 6 letters are there, each of this you have to substitute in these blanks and see the pattern. So let's go with the first one. It says B, B, A. Once again, we'll write, it will be also easier for you if you can put the blanks, copy the question first, yeah, and just plug in the option. So for each of the options, you first write the question entirely so that you'll not be confused, because there are a lot of B's and A's, you'll get confused and there's a possibility of making mistake. So first you write down the entire question as it is, okay, then you substitute them. So B, A, B, then A, B, A, okay. First option you substituted. Now let's see if there is any pattern. So here you can say there is B, B, A, A, one pattern. Again, if you see B, B, A, A, there is another pattern. But if you see here B, B, A, it comes B, B, A, B, then A, B, A, A, B. So somewhat the pattern got distorted. It need not be 4 letters only. You might ask, why did you only see for the 4-letter pattern? Can't you see for the entire thing? We can see that also. Let's say we go for the 5, this 5 terms, okay? Or we can also go for 3 also. If you go with BBA, you will again find ABA. So this somehow this BBA and ABB are different. You will not find a pattern. So let's keep this on a hold as of now. Now next you again copy the question as it is. So always do this, copy the question, because you should not make any error in this. There is a confusing, if you directly plug in the options, there will be some confusion. So first you copy the question, then you do this. So you get B, A, B, B, A. Okay, again you have done this. You can do simultaneously along with me. Okay, now let's see if there is any pattern. It says B, B, A, A, B, A, B, 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 A, B, B, A, B. Again, somehow I can't find any pattern in this. Can anyone find some kind of a recurring theme in this? At least I can't find. Let's see, let's keep again on this hold. Let's go for C. Again, you copy the question. B, B, A, A. So here, can you again find some kind of a pattern? It says there are 3 B's, then there are 2 A's, then there are again 2 A's here. No, at least I can't find a pattern. Anyone can find a pattern here? Okay, let's keep this also on hold. Let's see option D. Okay, B. Yeah. Now plug the option A, B, A, B, A, B. Can someone find a pattern here? A, B, B. Right. So every 6 terms you find a pattern here. There are total 18 letters here. So every 6 letters you'll find a pattern. So as you can see, by just plugging the option and observing for a bit, you can understand there's a clear pattern in option D. So what I suggest is, even in exam also, let's say you find such a pattern here itself in the first option, still you go for BCD, because sometimes you might be confused as in whether this is a pattern or not. So let's say if this option was in option A and we could clearly find a pattern, still you go for BCD so that you can confirm there is no clear pattern in those BCD also. That way you will be able to choose the correct answer and not make any mistakes. So here, just by plugging these 4 options, it will take hardly some 2-3 minutes just for writing this and plugging the option and seeing each option. Here you could clearly see a pattern. So it's A, B, B, A, B, A, B, B, A, B and A, B, B, A, B. So this pattern will be recurring in the entire series. That is what you need to find. Okay, any doubt in this? You understood the process, how to do it? Okay. Okay. So what does this say? 2, 2, 3, 3, 3 as digits. Using them, how many distinct numbers? Each term you round off. Okay, how many distinct numbers greater than 30,000 can be formed? Okay, so you have seen multiple questions with giving digits. They'll give you some digits and they'll ask you some question. So you have to be very you have to have a lot of clarity in solving these questions, because at least I would say some 3-4 questions will come based on this digits type of question. So you need to be comfortable with number theory. These are called number theory sort of questions. So how do you go about placing these numbers according to the demand of the question? That is generally what I've seen, the pattern also. So here he has clearly given, he'll give you 5 digits. He gave you 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. So only using these 5 digits only, 2 you have to use 2 times and 3 you have to use 3 times. Distinct numbers means how many different ways of numbers, how many different numbers can you find which are greater than 30,000. So basically you have to arrange these numbers. So any number you form with these numbers will be a 5-digit number, because it's a 5-digit number. So any, like, it will be either in 20,000s or 30,000s, because either it will start with 2 or let's say the another one is, let's say 3, 3, 2, 3, 3 is another possible combination. So what is he saying is, basically you put them in different combinations and see how many of those combinations are greater than 30,000. That is the question. So you can put any combination. Let's say you can put 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. This is also a combination. So either it will be in 20,000s or 30,000s. That is the catch here. But he's saying it should be greater than 30,000. So can any number start with 2 here? This is, let's say this is the 5-digit number. You have to plug these digits in this and form a different ways. If I, let's say if I start with 2, whatever I put here, let's say 2 here, 3 here, 2 something, whatever I put here, this will always be less than my 30,000, because it has to start with, it is starting with 2. That means my initial condition itself will be, it should start with 3. Okay. So first number should itself be 3. It can't be 2. Now you have what? 4 numbers, and you have to plug. Let's say 3 is gone. So now you have to plug these, because this 3 we have used here. 2, 2, 3, 3 here. and find out, because now what happens is, now you see the opposite case. Whenever you put whatever combination 2 3 2 3 or 2 3 3 3 2, whatever combination you, it will always be greater than 30,000, because each of these numbers is greater than 0. 2 is greater than 0, 3 is greater than 0. So this will always automatically be greater than 30,000. So all you have to find out is how many possible ways can you arrange 2 and 3 in these 4 blanks. That is the number of numbers which will be greater than 30,000. Okay, as simple as that. So we'll see how to do it. I'll give you 2 methods, and you can choose whatever method you want. So we'll give these 4 digits here, and we know the set that we have to use: 2 2 3 3. Okay, these 4 numbers we have to arrange, and we'll. So let's go for first one. 2 2 3 3 is one combination. Then you can say 2 3 2 3 is another combination. Then 2 3 3 2 is one combination. Okay, and another suggestion I will give is, whenever you have to find such combinations, fix for first number once. Once you fix this, then you can change here. Okay, so this is one combination. Here also, had this been, let's say it's been 2 2 3 4, next step would have been 2 2. I'll keep this as common. Then I would have just changed it 4 3. But since this is same, it will come the same. So next, what I'll do in the next number, I'll keep this as common. Then change this. Then do 3 2 3 3. Then again I've changed this 2 3 2. Next you will go. Okay. Is there any other possible combination? Yeah. Yeah. So once you have done with 2, now you go for keeping 3 here. Okay. Now you can keep 3 2. You can go, and another suggestion I will give is, you can follow one particular order, ascending or descending. Now here we have seen ascending order first, means I have placed all the smaller numbers first, then the bigger numbers last. So you can start the pattern like this: 2 2 3 3. Then one by one you can change. Now here also, once I have fixed my first number, the other numbers I'll again start ascending order. Okay. Once I have fixed 3, I'll put all the least numbers first, 2 2. Then I'll keep the bigger number. Then what I'll do, I'll change it here. Okay. Then again I can change it here. So are all these different? All 6 numbers that you got are different. All these are starting with 2 and you can find different, and all these are starting with 3 and you can find the difference. Okay. So I will suggest you follow this method. I'll give you another method also. In this method, what is easier is, you don't require any formula. You just need to find out different possible ways. And again, if you see the options, it gives 3 6 9 12. So very less numbers. It's not saying in some 500s or some thousands. Then you will require a formula. But since it's single digits or 12, you can say that, okay, the number is less, so I can try out different possible ways here only without any formula. And I've also given you the trick on how to find the number. Always arrange from less to highest. Then each of the number you can shift. One biggest number you can see here. Like once I fix the number, then 2 2 3 is the ascending order. 2 is less, 2 is 2. Then I'll bring one number here. Then I can bring another number here and finish off my combinations. And all these 3, remember, will be different. So this is one way of. So how many total possible ways are you getting? 6. So you will have, and remember, we have already kept our first digit here. So actually these are the different. So if you put 3 first, so these are the different 5-digit numbers possible with the given digits, which are greater than 30,000. So answer will be 6. I'll give you another simple formula. Now it says that there are 4 different places and your set is 2 2 3 3. Okay, so if someone is aware of this term called factorial, you must have seen in engineering also, or in +1 +2 also. So whenever you have such a thing, what you have to do is, how many total digits we have? 4. So answer will be 4 factorial by, you have 2 of them repeating here, 2 factorial. You have 2 another set which is repeating, so you have 2 factorial. And we know what is factorial means. Let's say some number is n factorial, that means it is 1 into 2 into 3 into so on up till into n. Here, so 4 factorial will be 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. By 2 factorial will be 1 into 2 into another 2 factorial will be 1 into 2. So if you cancel off, you'll get answer as 6. This is another formula. So how do you go about this formula is, let's say you are given 4 digits and you have to arrange them in different possible ways. The number of possible ways will be actually 4 factorial. So 4 digits, if let's say the numbers would have been 1, 2, 3, 4. If you have 4 different numbers, then the answer would have been 4 factorial. That is 1 into 2 is 24 ways of putting these numbers in different places. But why have we put this 2 factorial and 2 factorial is, if some digits are common in this, like here it is 2 and 2. So this becomes one set. So had this been 1, 2, 3, 3, then the factorial would have been 4 factorial by 2 factorial, because there is only one set which is having 2 as same. But here we have seen 2 sets are same. This one is also has become 2. So we have to divide by another 2 factorial. So how many ever such sets you have, those many number 2 factorial you have to divide. And remember, this size of 2 comes from the size of set. So had this been like 3, 3, 3, then this would have been 4 factorial by 3 factorial. Yeah. So if they had given, so initially they have given 5 numbers. If they ask, if they don't give any such condition greater than 30,000, so you can safely assume it would have been 5 factorial by 2 factorial, since this number has 2. It's not because the number is 2, it's because there are 2 2s in it. And it's not because it is 3, but there are 3 3s in it. Had it been 2 2, let's say 4 4 4 also, my answer still would have been the same, because there are 3 4s and 2 2s. So let's say it is something like 6 6, then they are given 7 7 7, then also my answer would have been 5 factorial by 2 factorial by 3 factorial, because it does not depend on the number, it doesn't how many numbers such numbers are there. So this is one formula. But what happens is, maybe some formulas you can't remember in the exam, but the first method that I have said, you can easily calculate even without knowing the formula. So it's up to you, whatever you want to choose. Both will give you the same answer. Okay, shall we move forward? Yeah. So consider the following statements. It says the sum of 5 consecutive integers can be 100. Okay, can be 100. And the product of 3 consecutive natural numbers can be equal to their sum. So understand, what is 5 consecutive integers mean? Yeah. Integers, and it can be any integers, it can be negative, it can be positive, but they have to be consecutive next to each other. As we have seen in the consecutive squares, they have to be next to each other. That is what consecutive means, next to each other. So is it possible to have 5 consecutive integers whose sum will be 100? Okay, we don't know. Let's say we don't know. The number here is 100, they could have given it as 10,000 also. Can you find out if that is the case? Can you find out if the number is 500? So we should have a general kind of a thing. So what we do when we don't know, we assume things. So first let's only do the first statement first. So if they say there is a number x, what will be the consecutive number, next number? X plus 1, x plus 2, okay. And can you tell me what is the previous number? Can you tell me the other previous? Okay. Now can I say all these 5 numbers are consecutive integers? Let's say x is an integer. Then these 5 are integers, and are these 5 consecutive because they are next to each other? Okay. Now can you tell me what do you get if you add all of them? He's saying the sum of 5 consecutive integers. Sum means you have to add all this. So you will have x minus 2 plus x minus 1 plus x plus 1 and plus x2. Oh, there's an x missing. Huh? Okay, this is what. But we know minus 2 and plus 2 cancel. Plus 1 and minus 1 also cancel. So this becomes 5x. Now what is he saying? This sum is 100. It can be any number. Here he has given us 100. So x will be how much? Yeah, 20. 5 20s is 100. So x will be 20. So what will be your numbers then? You know x is 20. So it is 20 means this will be 21. This will be 22. Here it will be 19. And here it will be 18. So if you add all these 5 digits, 5 numbers, the answer will be 100. So you are actually getting a 5 consecutive integers whose sum can be 100. So this is a correct statement. Next, the product of 3 consecutive natural numbers can be equal to their sum. That means let's say there are 3 consecutive integers. Maybe let's say A, B, C are 3 consecutive integers. You can also assume in the previous way, x minus 1, x and x plus 1 also. So what is he saying? A into B into C, that is the product, should be equal to A plus B plus C. So can you think of any integers which satisfy this condition? 1, 2, 3. So if that means 1 into 2 into 3 is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3. 1 into 2 into 3 is 6. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. So the product of 3 consecutive natural numbers can be equal to their sum. Now for second statement, there is no particular method of doing it. You should have known this before, even in the exam also. Here even if you don't know, you can assume things and you can solve. Here also you could have assumed, let's say it will be a very big process, but x minus 1 into x plus 1 is equal to x minus 1 plus x plus 1. Yeah, sum is saying this is sum and this is product. So what will this be? X cube minus x is equal to 3x. That means x cube is equal to 4x. That means x into x square minus 4 equal to 0. You got x into x square minus 4 equal to 0. This means x into x minus 2 into x plus 2 is equal to 0. This means x can be 0 or 2 or minus 1. Okay. So that means your 3 sets will be, when you say x minus 1, x and x plus 2, x plus 1, when x is 0, this will be minus 1, 0, 1. This is the first case. Second case, when x is 2, this will be 1, 2, 3. Third case, when x is minus 2, this will be minus 3, minus 2 and minus 1. Okay, so now if you actually see, minus 3 plus minus 2 plus minus 1 is minus 6. Minus 3 into minus 2 into minus 1 is also minus 6. Similarly, minus 1 plus 0 plus 1 will be 0. Minus 1 into 0 into 1 will also be 0. But he is saying natural numbers. That means all integers should be positive. So this is the only possible way. So you can do this. You can assume here also, as you have assumed in first way of x minus 2, x minus 1 like that. Here also you can assume x minus 1, x and x plus 1. Do the product, do the sum, equate, get the value of x. That is also possible if you don't know. But as I said, it will take some long time. And now this is some very algebraic thing which engineers might be comfortable, and maybe the ones with humanities and arts background might not be comfortable. So it's better, and always it's good to remember this set. It will be useful in your other questions also sometimes. So 1, 2, 3 is a good combination. Whenever they give such conditions, you can always take this as an example. 1 into 2 into 3 is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3. It's good to remember this. If you don't remember also, and if you're good with maths, you can assume things and you can solve the equation and you can get the answer. Okay? Any doubt? Huh. Ama.
So that you are taking x minus 1, x plus 1, x plus 2.
Yeah.
So why can't we take x plus 1, plus 2, x plus 3?
You can take that. You can take that. So what is he saying is, I did not take consecutive minus 1 because it says integers. I just took some random numbers, because in that if I take x minus 2, x minus 1, if I add them, I'll easily get 5x. Because minus 2 and plus 2 gets cancelled, minus 1 and plus 1 gets cancelled. If you want here, you can assume this also, x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3, x plus 4 and x plus 5. Okay. Now what will this become? If you add, the sum will be 5x plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. How much that will be? 6, 6, 6, 12, 15. Okay. So now I will equate this 5x plus 15 equal to 100 because he has given me the sum as 100. Okay. Now that makes my, so I'll get what s is equal to 5x plus 15 and that is equal to 100. 5x will be 85 and x will be 17. Okay. So now it was x plus 1 plus x plus 2 plus x plus 3. So this will be 17 plus 1 18, 17 plus 2 19, 17 plus 3 20, 21 and 22. Again I got the same set. Only that earlier x was 20, now x is 17. But this depends on the form you have chosen. But here if you see it is 5x plus 15 plus 100. So again 15 you have to, this equation is a little difficult. Had you assumed like that, in the sum minus 2 plus 2 will cancel, minus 1 plus 1 will cancel, it will be 5x. It's a matter of convenience. You can do this also. No harm in that. There is not much big difference in that. Okay. Only thing you have to little calculation difference, but the final answer will be the same because ultimately only these consecutive integers will form the sum as 100. Okay. So we'll go with this question. A cubical vessel of side 1 meter is filled completely with water. How many milliliters of water is contained in it? So simply he's saying there is a cubical vessel of capacity 1 meter by 1 meter and 1 meter. Okay. So it's a cube. Cube means all three sides will be same of this. So the length of that side will be 1 meter, 1 meter and 1 meter. Is filled completely with water. So it's up to the brim. Up to the brim there is water in this entire. Think of it's a can. Okay. Then he's saying how many milliliters of water is contained in it. So simply basically he's saying you have a 1 meter cube of volume of a cube and how many milliliters of water, means 1 meter cube will be how many milliliters is what is asking. Okay, that is a simple question basically. Milliliters and 1 meter cube, you should know the conversion. So he's saying there is 1 meter cube of a vessel, how many milliliters of water will be in it. So this how many is what you have to find out. Okay, so how will you do this is, whoever rides a bike knows, I have some understanding about cc, the capacity of the bike. You have 900 cc, very big capacity, you have 250 cc, you have 500 cc. So, and whoever fills the petrol also know what is the conversion. So, basic conversion is 1 liter is 1000 cc. Okay. This is the funda here. 1 liter of water means 1000 centimeter cube. Cc means centimeter cube or cubic centimeters. C means cubic, other C means centimeters. Cubic centimeters. So that means 1 liter is equal to 10,000 into centimeters cube. Okay, this is what it means. Now, if you go further, this is, and you know centi means 10 power minus 2, okay, into meter, into cube. Clear on this? Centi means 10 power minus 2, milli means 10 power minus 3. I'll just write it here. Is milli. And similarly, when you say 10 power 3, it is kilo. Okay. Then 10 power 6 is mega. Okay. Like that you have, even if you have a pito, femto like that, and you have zillion, trillion, I mean you have other numbers also, but basically these are the things which you will need in the exam. 10 power minus 2 is centi, 10 power minus 3 is milli, kilo and mega. Okay. So that means this becomes 10,000 you can write as 10 cube, Yeah, you can write as 10 cube. Next, so 10 power minus 2 power 3 is how much? Minus 6. So this is 10 power minus 6 into meter cube, because each of them you have to multiply by power of cube. This is equal to 1 liter. Okay, so this you can reduce it to 1 liter being, now 10 power 3 into 10 power minus 6 is actually, you have to add this. So 3 minus 6 becomes 10 power minus 3. So this is 10 power minus 3, okay, into meter cube. Okay. So 10 power minus 3, if it goes this side, it will become 10 plus 3, because if it is like 10 power minus 3 means 1 by 1000. So 1000 you are taking this side. So this makes 1, then 1 meter cube will be 10 cube into liters. Okay, so 1 meter cube is equal to 1000, 10 cube is 1000 liters. Okay, now we can write this as 10,000 into 10 cube into 10 power minus 3 also liters. 10 cube is 1000, 10 power minus 3 is 1 by 1000. So this is 1. So this is basically 1 only, same. So here you take this here. This is already 10 cube, this is 10 cube. So this is 10 cube into 10 cube into 10 power minus 3 liters. This is what? 10 power 6. And we know 10 power minus 3 is milli. We have just seen in the table. So 10 power 6 milliliters. So 10 power 6 is 1 ball followed by 6 zeros. Okay, this you remove, it will be 10. So answer will be this, option D. Okay, it's a basic calculation, simple calculation. If you can just understand this only this formula that 1 liter is 1000 cc, then you can derive the answer from this. Okay.
Suppose if I don't know the 1 liter is equal to 1000
Ha.
the same question has been in the previous year. There is a question of 1 kg is equal to 1 liter. Then 0.1 gram is equal to how many cubic centimeters? So in such a case, if I don't know the 1 liter is equal to 1000 cubic centimeters,
Yeah.
what will I do?
Let's see, because how do I say this is, why you need that conversion is because liters is a thing of volumes, and whereas a meter is a length dimension. Okay, let's say you have that 1 meter cube of what do you say, vessel, 1 meter cube of vessel. In that vessel, if I, instead of water, if I put oil or if I put kerosene, okay, the answer will change. Okay, because the density of water is 1 generally. So it's a standard. How do you know this? Is, I think, is a very standard thing. I mean, you should know it basically. In my opinion, you should know it, because again, that 1 liter equal to 1000 cubic centimeters is a volume. I mean, 1 liter is volume. Okay, liter. How do you measure volume? Is in liters. But whenever you say, okay, what does a standard liter mean? Is 1000 cc of, in terms of measurement. If you take in terms of length, centimeter into centimeter. If I prepare a small cube which is of 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter, that cube, and if I arrange 1000 such cubes, then I'll get 1 liter of any substance. That is a standard measurement. So maybe as of now I can't recollect, but you should be able to know it.
Same question, 1 kg is equal to 1 liter. Then 0.1 gram is equal to how many cubic millimeters?
Let's look. Okay, what you're saying, 1 kg? Huh.
1 liter.
Okay.
Then 0.1 gram is equal to
0.1 gram is equal to
how many cubic millimeters?
how many
Cubic millimeters.
millimeter cube? Is it? So you can again go back in the same way. So I'll tell you how. So now this is what they're asking. So this question you can write as 1 into kilo, is 10 cube, into grams is equal to 1 liter, again is you should know this, that it is 1000 cc. So that will be 1000 into centimeter cube. Okay. Now from here on you can again go that centimeter into millimeter you can convert 10 power minus 2, 10 power minus 3. Gram, it is in already grams. So basically shift everything here and then find out. So just for so 1000 first of all get cancelled because 10 cube and 10 cube. So from here you will get that 1 gram is equal to 1 centimeter cube. You know that 1 into 10 power minus 2. 10 power minus 2 can write as 10 power 1 into 10 power minus 3 into meter cube. Okay, because you know that centi means 10 power minus 2, which you can write as 10 power 1 into 10 power minus 3 and get this 10 outside. So it will be 10 cube into 10 power minus 3 meter into whole cube, which is 1000 millimeter cube. This remember, this m means milli, this m means meter. So there's a difference. Similarly, this c means centi, but me means m means meters. So answer must be 1000. So I think you will need that here also. Okay, so quickly for the next sum, it says there are 6 persons arranged in a row. Another person, means not this 6 but some other person, has to shake hands with 3 of them, so that he should not shake hands with 2 consecutive persons. Again this consecutive nature has come. In how many distinct possible combinations can the handshakes takes place? So again this question might seem tough, and in the initial understanding maybe you may not get it in the first go itself. So read it multiple times, because some questions they have some complexities attached, some conditions attached. You need to understand all those conditions. So to explain this, now we'll go by each statement. It says 6 persons are arranged in a row. So there is a row, 6 people are sitting here. Let's say A, B, C, D, E, F are the persons who are sitting in a row. And another person, let's say some other person, let's say next person is G. Some other person has to shake hands with 3 of them. So out of these 6, he has to shake hands with any 6 or any 3 of them, so that he should not shake hands with 2 consecutive persons. Means, let's say if G comes and first shakes with A, then he can't shake with B, because it's saying do not shake with consecutive persons. He can shake with C, D, E, F when he shakes with A, but not with B. But let's say if he has first gone to A, he shook his hand. Since he can't do with B, he goes to C to shake the hand. This is the second person. Now since he has gone to C, he can't go to D, because he will be the consecutive person for him. So next he will go to E. That means when G shakes with A, C, E, it is one possible way of shaking hands with persons who are not consecutive to each other. Okay, so now what is he saying? How many distinct possible combinations? Again, you can see the repetitiveness here. He gives you a number, he gives you a condition, and he says, he generally tells the condition is with respect to consecutiveness, and he says how many different possible, means more than one way it is possible to make this combination. So basically you have to see, this all boils down to, all this question boils down to finding a combination of 3 entities which are not consecutive to each other. In this case, one example is ACE. Out of the 6, if I put ACE, that will be one possible way of the answer. Is asking how many such other possible ways are there which are not consecutive to each other. Okay. So now let's see what does, you understood the crux of the question? You have to find such combinations. So let's see how we'll find such combinations. So A, B, C, D, E, F are there. Let's start again with the first number. Whenever such combinations come, we'll again start from the starting, as we have done in the 3, 3, 2, 2 wala problem. We'll do like this. So let's say if we start with starting with A, then you can't take B, cancel, go to C, yes you can go, cancel D, you can go to E. But So A, C, E. So A, C, E is one option. But let's say he has gone to A, then C, he says he can't go to D. But instead of going to E, can he go to F? Like, can he go, let's say he skipped E also, can he go with F? Then also you can see that they are not consecutive, because it does not say there should be only one person in between. There should be at least one person in between them. When we say non-consecutive, the gap between two entities should be at least one. If it is 0 means they are consecutive. If it is 1 means they are not consecutive. But if there are 1, 2, 3 also, it is non-consecutive. So that means ACF is also a possible combination. Okay, got this? No, so if we start with A, we'll get only two possible combinations, which is ACE and ACF. Yeah. No. ADF. Good. Nice. So we'll go with that also. So first we have seen A, C, E, then A, C, F, then put A common. Again, so you see the order also, it is going in ascending order. A, C, E we have finished, ACF we have finished. Now A here. Then we'll see instead of B, instead of, so this will be the trick, okay. First you select the first alphabet. Okay. So first you select the first alphabet, that is A. Then see if B is doing. No, B can't do. Then go to C. Yes, C is doing. Okay, then go to D. D can't do. Then go to E. Yes, it can do. So ACE. But you will also see whether F is doing, which is left out. Yes, it is also doing. So ACF. Now you have exhausted the combination of, you have exhausted B, you have exhausted B, you have exhausted C. So next you have to go and see, keeping A as common, this I am telling. So this is a logical way of going about. You have exhausted B, since B is not possible. With C also, all possible combinations you have exhausted. Next go with D. So A and D, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. But you can't take E here. So you take F. F, is it possible? Yes. So you have exhausted D also. Now you go with A and D. A and D, E is possible. But after E you have F. Means E and F will become consecutive. So that is not possible. So you have exhausted E also. Next you go with F. A and F is possible. But there is nothing else after F. So F also you can't do anymore. That means with respect to A, you have three combinations. Okay, this is one way of going logically. That means you will not make any kind of errors in such combination. Now I have done an error which he pointed out. So I told that only A, C and ACF is enough. We'll go to the next letter. But if you see ADF is also possible. So in order to not make such mistakes in the exam, it is better if you can go logically ascending order. Now again you write the order A, B, C, D, E, F. Now we have exhausted everything with respect to A, right? Now let's start with B. Now here only we have to see. Let's say your first digit is B. Can you go with C? If once you select C, you can't select anything else because B and C will be a combination. So cancel off. You have exhausted C. Starting with B, all combinations with respect to C you have exhausted because you can't do anything. But let's say if you go with D, okay, then is it possible? Yes. But you can't take E because you will take F. Okay. Now putting B only, next putting D only. Can you go with any other number? Because E is over, F is over. That means with respect to B and D, you have exhausted D. Next you start with E. So B is exhausted. Next you see whether you can go anything with E. B and D is possible, but B, F will again be wrong. And so with respect to B, E is exhausted. Now with respect to B and F, it is possible, but since there is nothing else, F is also exhausted. That means with respect to B, only BDF is possible. Get this? Understood? I'm going in a logical ascending order way. Again you write A, B, C, D, E, F. Now you have exhausted A, B, C, A, B and B. Now, can you tell me, is it possible any combination with C, D, E, F? Let's try. Let's try. Now, you put C here. D you can't keep. So, with respect to C, D will be always be exhausted since it is C. E is possible, but is F possible? No. So, there is nothing else also. So, E is cancelled. Now, C and F is possible, but there is nothing after C. So, that means your C does not have, even F is exhausted. So, your C does not have any combination basically. So, C is also exhausted. Now, what is left? Once you have finished the ABC, the left are D, E, F, but D, E, F are themselves consecutive. Yeah, any possible combination of remaining D, E, F will be a consecutive thing only. So, it is gone. So, the only possible cases are ACE, ACF, ADF and BDF. Okay, so answer will be 4. So, again you see the options. So, I can actually, by solving here itself, you can see some pattern by seeing 3-4 questions. Such questions will every time have some number, okay. Some conditions should not shake, some consecutiveness in the nature in the question, and possible combinations, and numbers will always be in units, single digits or double digits. So, whenever such things come, means you have to understand the question properly, understand the condition, list out all possible combinations, make sure there are no repetitions within the combination. Like here, had we gone the other way, we could have said, sir, F, D and A is also possible, but F, D and A is already covered in ADF. So, that's a repetition. So, make sure there are no repetitions. And how do you go about logically is in ascending order. One by one, you have to exhaust everything. Even in the other case also, the 2, 2, 3, 3 the case, we have exhausted with 2 first. Keeping 2, we have founded everything. We have exhausted. Then keeping 3, we have founded everything. We exhausted 3. So, logically, you have to start from one number, exhaust each option and then go forward, and then you will get the final answer. And you can do by calculation, because that if you see the options, there are everything in single digit. That means it is possible by counting numbers. Okay. Now, it says an amount of money was distributed among A, B, C in the ratio P is to Q is to R. Consider the following statements. A gets the maximum share if P is greater than Q plus R. Okay. So, again understand the question. An amount of money was distributed among A, B, C. 3 persons are there, A, B, C, in the ratio P is to Q is to R. So, we know only the ratio, we don't know the amount. So, let's assume Px, Qx and Rx, that will be in the ratio P is to Q is to R. So, now let's say A will get Px amount of money, B will get Qx amount of money, and C will get Rx amount of money. Okay, this is the amount they are getting. Now, what is saying? A gets the maximum share if P is greater than Q plus R. Means, let's say, okay, so he's saying whenever this such statements comes, this is the condition if this is there. Okay, that is like, I am great if I get 100 marks in maths. That means first I have to get 100 marks in maths, only then I will be correct, only then I will be great. So, that means first you have to understand this statement, and if this is true, then this will be true. So, in this statement, is saying P is greater than Q plus R. Okay, let's assume that P is greater than Q plus R. Then you will get, this also means Px is greater than Qx plus R, Rx. Okay, that means the share of A is greater than a share of B plus share of C combined. Okay, so someone who understands electoral politics and someone who understands polity well, you have this first past post system. Okay, you understand, everyone gets that. That means anyone who gets the highest votes will win. It need not be greater than 50% also. Let's say I get 40, other two competitors get 30 and 30, I will win. So, that is not what he is asking here. Another situation is, you must have understood this company holdings. When will let's say Elon Musk is buying Twitter. When will someone say that I have a majority stakehold in a company? When he owns more than 51%. Then he will say that yes, because if I have, let's say 51% alone, if I have alone 51%, all other persons who are there combined also can't make more than what I have. Let's say there are 10 persons, other shareholders. Each one has, let's say, how many ever. But if you combine them also, it will maximum make up to 49%. Then I will have the say because I will have 51%. So he's saying that A gets the maximum share if P is greater than Q plus R. Now this is something like that. Now let's say there are 3 persons who are holding the entire amount. Now here you see P is holding more than what Q plus R combined is holding. In the case that I have given, 51% I have, and other 2 persons will have more anything, let's say whatever they'll have, it will be less than me. But in the 40, 30, 30 case, though I have a big share, 30 plus 30 is not greater than 40. So I can't claim, to be this thing. But in this case, definitely I can claim that A gets the maximum share if P. So what this means is, if this is the condition, that means whenever you have such condition, it means P will have more than 50% of the share. That is what this means. This you should understand. When combinedly, all others combined also I will have more than them, means I will have greater than 50. How I will do this is, let's say, now you add Px on both sides, you will get Px plus Px is equal to Px plus Qx plus Rx, which is the total amount. Px plus Px is greater than S. This means 2Px is greater than S. That means Px is greater than S by 2. Means S by 2 is 50%. 50% of the sum. So Px has more than 50% of the sum. Then definitely P will have maximum share. That A is maximum share. Okay. So this statement becomes correct. Next, what is he saying? C gets the minimum share if R is less than P plus Q. So he's saying R is less than P plus Q. Now he's saying C gets minimum share. Now try to get a counter example for this case. Okay. Now in the case that I have said 40, 30, 30. In that case, let's say R gets 40, which is less than 30 plus 30. Yeah. But can I say will R get the minimum share? In fact, R is getting the maximum share. So what is he saying? If R is less than P plus Q, C gets the minimum share, which is a wrong thing, right? Because I have given a counter example which says 30 plus 30, sum of the other two is greater than the given amount, but it is the maximum when compared individually. So this statement will be a wrong one. So whenever such statements are given, either you should be able to prove it 100%, or in case of disproving, even if you give one example also, you can disprove. In the above statement, why I went the other way around is because you can't disprove this. You can never give me an example saying P is greater than Q plus R and still say that P doesn't have maximum share. You can try, because I have given you a mathematical proof saying that 2P is greater than total sum, P is greater than half of the sum, means P will be always greater than 50%. And in the previous case when I told, if someone is having more than 50% in their hand, then they are definitely the maximum persons irrespective of how much ever other persons have. So it's a logical way of doing it. So for the first case, if you can prove a logical if a second case also if you can do somewhat mathematical, it would be great. But with just a simple example, I can disprove the statement. So why go about it? So option A is correct and statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is wrong. So which of them is correct is only one. Okay, understood? Okay, we'll go for the next one. So it says a pie diagram shows the percentage distribution of proteins, water and other dry elements in the human body. Okay, so given that proteins 16%, water 70%, if both proteins and other dry elements correspond to P%, what is the central angle? Again, a big question with some kind of a, it says pie diagram. You should understand what is a pie diagram. Okay, so pie diagram is a circle which shows relative distribution of the components. Let's say if I want to say your GS marks. Let's say you have GS1, GS1, 2, 3, 4, you have essay, you have 2 optionals. So if I want to calculate your main score, I have to know each of them. You have to have essay, then 1, 2, 3, 4 of your GS, then optional 1 and optional 2. So all these seven subjects can be represented in your pie chart. Saying you got very good in essay, but let's say this is very small, means you got very less in your, let's say, GS3 paper, but you got very good in your optional 1 paper, you have got decent marks in your optional 2 paper. So just by looking at it, the size of this particular piece, I can easily tell how you perform, okay, based on the relative size. So if it is very small, I can say you have performed very poorly. If it is very big, you have performed very good. So that is how I'll judge it. So that is why we use pie diagram for. So here he says, so now here what he's saying, in this particular problem, there is a human body which is made up of proteins, water and other dry elements. So assuming only 3 are there. Proteins are there, water are there, and whatever other is other dry elements in the human body. Now given that proteins correspond to 16% and water correspond to 70%, means what else is left? Now he's saying proteins are 16%, water is 70%, and you know what else is present? Other dry elements are there. He's telling, in the question itself he gives proteins, water and other dry elements. Other dry elements. With this we don't know, but we know that entire thing should be 100%. So can you tell me how much this will be? How much? Yeah, that will do. That also you can do directly. But just if you do like, you'll get 14%. But as I said, if both proteins and other dry elements correspond to P%, means if you just remove water from the entire thing also, you'll get proteins and other dry elements. This way also you can get it. This is just for your clarity. So proteins plus other dry elements combined it is 30%. So he's saying if both proteins and other dry elements correspond to P%, now P% becomes here 30%, because proteins and other dry elements combined you will get 30%. Then what is the central angle of the sector representing P on the pie diagram? So this is the important point here. Now let's say this is your P diagram. So let's say this is your water. So this is your water, this is your protein, and this is your other dry elements. Okay. Now he's saying, let's say this entire thing is P%. Now what is he asking? What is the central angle of the sector representing P on the pie diagram? So this is the P entire thing, that is protein plus central angle is this. So this is the angle which is representing these two together. So he's asking basically how much this angle makes. Okay. So normally in pie chart, how we'll do this? This angle is proportional to the percentage that it contributes. Okay. Now let's say water is 70% and whatever P is telling is 30%. Okay. So if you see the angle also, this angle and this angle will be in the ratio of 70:30. That is the basis of pie diagram. That is how I can tell that this is big and this is small. Now, if you see clearly diagram, you can see water is so big. So I can say yes, water is the maximum part just by looking at it. That is the beauty of pie diagram. Just by looking the relative size, you can tell it. So it says water is 70% and P is 30%. And you also know this entire angle is how much in a pie chart? It is 360. In a pie diagram, this entire thing, the central angle, he says what is the central angle of the sector? So of the sector will be less than 360, but the entire central angle is actually 360 degrees. So he's saying P on the pie diagram. So this will be how much? Proportional to the percentage we have seen. So this will be 70% of 365. And this particular thing will be 30% of 360. Okay, this is a smaller angle, so it will be 30% of it. This is a bigger angle. It is 70% of 365. So now we have to just find out 30% of 360. Understood? This is the crux of the question. Now, in this question, basically you have to first draw the pi diagram, since it's saying pi diagram here. Then find out what is the percentage that P means. We have calculated it is 30%. Central angle of that sector means 30% of the entire 365. If he asks what will be the central angle of water, it will be 70% of that 365. Okay. So it will be 30% of 365. Sorry. I'm so sorry. 360. Extremely sorry. It is central angle is 360. I got confused with number of days. So it is 30% of 360. So that is 30 by 100 into 360. Okay. So this is 0, 0 you can cancel. 3 into 36 is 108. So answer is 108. Okay, so just make that correction. This is actually 360 degrees. The central angle will be 360. Okay. Okay. I think we have left with some 4 or 5 problems. In the last, we'll complete. So Joseph visits the club on every 5th day. Harsh visits on every 24th day, while Sumit visits on every 9th day. If all 3 of them met at the club on Sunday, then on which day will all 3 of them meet again? Okay. So there is a, what he is saying is there is some pattern. Like Joseph visits the club every 5th day, like 5th day, then 10th day. So let's say Joseph, he visits on 5th day, then he'll go every 5th day means first he'll come on 5th day, then he'll come on 10th day, then he'll come on 15th day, like that. Okay, then he says Harsh visits every 24th day, means first he'll come on 24th, then the next 24 days, that is 48 days, then the other next 24 days, which is 72, like that. Then Sumit visits every 9th day. So first he'll come here, then he'll come the next 9th day, which is 18th day, next 9th day, which is 27th day, and so on. Now, if all 3 of them met at the club on a Sunday, means they are coming one day, they are able to meet, all of them are able to meet on one day. That is, that particular day, Sunday. So what will that one day be means? This particular number should be same in all 3 of them. Okay. So now let's say he comes on 5th day, 10th day, 15th day, like that there will be a number, let's say X here. Similarly, Harsh comes 24, 48, 72, like that he comes on X, some other X day, let's say X. He also comes. So this X should be common for all 3 of them. Only then they will be able to meet on that one particular day, right? Now, consider 10th day. Joseph will come to the club, but there is no 10 in Harsh's series. So Harsh will not come on 10th day. Similarly, there is no 10 in Sumit's case. So Sumit will also not come on 10th day. Let's say if Harsh is coming on 72. Now you find out so that you will not get, you will get 70 and 75, but you will not get 72 here. Okay, but here if you go 9, 9, 9, you will go, the series comes at 72 at one point. 27, 36, 54, like that if you calculate on 72. So on 72nd day, the number is there on both of them. So on 72nd day, Harsh and Sumit will meet. But there will be no 72 in case of Joseph. So Joseph will not come on 72 second, but these 2 will come. That means, but all 3 of them have to meet. So if you see the pattern, basically this is what multiples of 24. This is multiples of 9. This is multiples of 5. So there should be one particular number which is a multiple of all these 3 numbers put together. Yeah, which should be a number. If let's say all these 3 numbers have one number in common, that particular X should be a multiple of 5, should be a multiple of 24, and should be a multiple of 9. Only then they will be able to meet. Understanding any confusion in this? You can tell if there is any confusion. Okay. So they have to meet on that multiple day. So basically, what is that X or what is that multiple of 5, 24 and 9, which they all will meet on one day. So this is something called LCM, the least common multiple that they tell. So how do you find out is, let's say if there is there any common factor between 5 and 24? 5 and 24 are same. But see if there is any common factor between 24 and 9. Okay, so there is 3. 3. So how do you write it as? Let's say some number, you put y is equal to all these numbers, you have to represent them first in the prime factors. Means what are the prime numbers? 2, 3, 5, 6 like that. 2, 3, 5, 7 like that. So 5 into, how do you represent 24? 2 into 2 into 2 into 3. All are prime numbers. Then 9 as 3 into 3. Okay. So now you eliminate whatever is common in between these two. Now in this particular number, and this particular number, any number which is common to either of two, you should remove. So if you see here, 3 is here, 3 is here. So remove of that 3. But only remove it once. Don't remove it twice. So only remove it here. Okay. So this essentially becomes what? 5 into 8 into 9. Sorry, 5. Yeah, because you keep this 3 here. So 3 into 3 it becomes 5 into 8 into 9. 2, where will you remove? No, 2 into 2 is here, but there is no 2 here. No, whatever is common to both of them, only 3 is common. Now if you see, there is no common factor between any of them. Yeah, 5, there is no 5 here. Here it is made of all 2's only. There is no 2 here. Here it is made of all 3's only, but there is no 3. But be careful to remove only it once. Like here it should still be 3 only. Only here you can remove it. Any one you can remove. Yeah. So once you've got such a number, this becomes 360. 5 into 8 into 9. Now what you have to verify is 360 is a multiple of 5, multiple of 24 as well as multiple of 9. And there is no number which is less than 360 which is multiple of 5249. 5, 24 and 9. That is the concept of LCM. Least common multiple, which is a multiple of these 3, but which is among the least of, because 720 is also a multiple of these 3 numbers. But 360 will be the least among all of them. That is the process of finding out LCM. So once we have found out, or if you're feeling this is very tough, you can actually multiply each of them. You can complete that series from 5 to 5, 10, 15 like that, 24 like that, and 9 like that, and see where they are all meeting. You will find it will meet at 360. So for this particular question, you need some kind of a mathematical understanding. Okay. So now what he is saying is they meet on a Sunday, and we know this Sunday is a 360th day. Then on which day will all 3 meet again? So if let's say they are meeting at today, like 0, 0, 0, they are meeting today, then they'll again be able to meet on 360th day. Okay, so basically this Sunday is, let's say, first day, not the 360th day. So they meet on 0th day, that is today they meet. Let's say today is Sunday and today they meet. Next how many days they will meet? After 360 days from today. That means if Sunday is, if the 0th day is Sunday, what will be the 360th day? Okay, so how do you do that? Is, let's say today is Sunday, 7 days from now will be Sunday, again 7 days from then will be Sunday. So like that 7 days will every week Sunday. So 360, if you see, is actually, you have to like find out in terms of 7. So 5, once again 5, 1, 51 into 7 plus 3. So you know, in a day, in a year there are 52 weeks. Okay, and there are 65 days. So 360 is almost in the last week of the year. So 51 weeks are over, let's say. Then in that 51 weeks, if 3 more days are over, then you will get 360 days. If 7 more days are over, you will get 364, 365 like that. Yeah. So this is for an intuitive approach. You can say that in a year there are 365 days and there are 52 weeks. So 51 weeks must have already passed by the time you reach 360th day. That is an intuitive way of approaching. Exact is this. 51 weeks in 51 weeks plus 3 days is 360. So if let's say After 51 weeks, after all these weeks over, it will still be Sunday. So that is 3, let's say 357. 357, the day will also be a Sunday, because 7 with the day will be a Sunday, 14th day will be a Sunday, 21st day will be a Sunday. Like that, if you add 7, you will get 357th day also to be a Sunday. Then again you have 3 more days. That means Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So 360 will actually be a Wednesday. Yeah. So Wednesday is the answer. The sum is a little difficult, because first of all you should understand what is an LCM, find out what is that number, what is 360, and you have to assume if first day, if the 0th day is Sunday, when will be the next coming this thing. So the answer will be Wednesday. Okay. Any corrections in this?
We find the LCM, we straight away go 360 divided by 7, we will get the 3 as a weight.
Purila. What is it?
After finding the LCM, we get 360 as LCM. After that, 360 divided by 7, we have to
Yes. Yes.
we will get the remainder as a
Yes.
So we get that 2 as a
Yes. That is also correct. Basically, this way of representation is that only. This is the divisor. This is the remainder. So you can put that divisor form, get the remainder, and add that remainder to Sunday, so that you will get the correct answer. Okay, that is also correct answer. Okay, any corrections?